I'm going to take a little bit of your time tonight, and I appreciate y'all coming out on a Thursday night. The most important thing, I want you all to keep an open mind tonight, what I'm going to share with you. Let me just give you a little history about myself and why I got in this program and where I see provision going before I really kick off the presentation. And I say this, and I don't brag when I say this. I just want you to know that if you put your mind to something, you can achieve darn near everything that you want. I work about 80 hours a week. And I was shown this program about 7 months ago by a guy by the name of Dr. J. Russell Ross. And Dr. Ross is a urologist, and he works about 80. If you keep up with Dr. Ross, he's 70 years old. The guy's got more energy than I have. But he showed me this program 7 months ago. And in 7 months' time, it was intangible for me. I was sitting where you all were. So I can really identify with the questions you're going to have and what you're going to think about this program. I was shown it seven months ago. In 7 months' time, I have built an organization of about 350 people in 7 months' time. Now we are averaging about 70 to 80 people a month coming to this business on my team. So all of you all would be on my team. And so Provision RX is the name of the company. That's why you're here tonight. And all we're doing, folks, is giving away a free card. That's all we're doing that saves people money on the prescription drugs. That's all we're doing. We're helping thousands of families all over America. This company was started in March of 2010. We're now some 17 months old. This company is saving Americans over $100,000 a week, each and every week, on the prescription drugs. So we're doing a good thing for Americans. This card is accepted in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Okay? In six weeks, I'm going to write this up here. In 6 weeks' time, I said I was going to give this a little effort, and I did, and I worked very hard. And in 6 weeks' time, I achieved the rank of National Marketing Director. I'm going to talk about that a little bit during the program, but what does that mean? That means I worked kind of hard, gave it some effort, and then all of a sudden, in 6 weeks' time, I created about an income of about $100,000 a year. In 6 weeks' time, it would play out over the next 12 months. Now, as a vice president of the company, by giving away this free card and getting others to give away this free card, I'll make about $250,000 to $300,000 in 12 months. So I'm going to show you a program that when I stand up here, I'm not about a lot of hype. As Kenny can tell you, I'm a serious guy. That's why I drove 3 hours to be with you folks tonight. I'm going to get in my car if it's over. I'm going to drive 3 hours back. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to work till about 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to Ashland, Kentucky, to put on a meeting in Boyd County to a stand-up crowd of over 100 people. So this Provision RX is sweeping America, folks. It will be a household name very soon. Those of us that are smart enough that want to join the company on the ground floor, there's 7,000 people in all of America giving away this free card. That's it. So think about anybody in the room, and I'll take a show of hands. Anybody in the room ever heard of a company called Excel Telecommunications? Several of us. Excel Telecommunications came around in the 90s, and that company exploded. They had thousands and thousands of people, and they were saving Americans on their long-distance service. This company, I think, Provision RX, is where Excel was when it first started. When this company hits critical mass, meaning it's just going to explode, if you are where you are now, the sky's the limit. That's all I can tell you. Who started the company? I always like to give a lot of facts because I did my due diligence as I would want you to do yours. This company was started by Ernie Land and Lowell Mims. Ernie Land is an attorney. He practices law in Destin, Florida. Lowell Mims has done a lot of things. He's a minister, and he was a consultant for Excel Telecommunications, knew the business very well. So all I do on a continuum is give away this free card that saves people money on their prescription drugs, and I invite people to give away this free card.
Where is Lowell from?
Lowell Mims is from Washington State, makes his home in Arlington, Texas right now. Okay? Now, this card is accepted at over 54,000 pharmacies nationwide. All the major players take this card. They're listed right on my card. Walmart, Publix, Rite Aid, CVS, A lot of pharmacies take this card. A lot of mom and pops take this card. So this card will work if you don't have insurance. Okay? It will work if you do have insurance. Let me explain. This card, if somebody doesn't have insurance, and by the way, there's 59 million Americans that don't have any insurance in this country. We need to give each one of them a card. We need to help them. Do you know anybody that's down on their luck that doesn't have a job? They need a card. Do you know any hardworking Mexicans that work very hard but send their money back to help their families and they're here? Folks, they don't have any insurance. Give them a card. Their children get sick. They get sick. Let's help them. If you do have insurance, and a lot of you probably do have insurance, this card is going to beat your copay 68% of the time. You're going to save money on our card. Okay? That's a pretty good deal. What about those seniors? They're in the donut hole. They got to spend $3,000 to get out of the donut hole. This card works. You need to be giving a card to everybody. I give away this card everywhere I go, and I get asked all the time, well, Troy, who do you give the card away to? I give it away to everybody, folks. You want everybody to save money. The card works. Do you realize if I save somebody $20 or $30 on their prescriptions and they're on a fixed income, that's a lot of money to those folks. It may not be a lot of money to you or me. What if we're saving people hundreds of dollars a month on their insurance? Folks, that's a car payment. That's food. That's groceries. That's gas money. This is a tough economy out there, and I'm sure everybody knows some people that may be down on their luck. Let's give them a card. Let's help them out. Now, something that you say, well, Troy, I get this question all the time. Who should I invite to tell about this concept? Gosh, I know somebody did a pretty good job of inviting tonight. I don't know who that was. It's a packed house. Kenny, next time we'll have to knock out that wall.
We'll do it. I'll do it tonight.
You want to ask people to come. If somebody, when I was shown this program, I asked Dr. Ross. He told me that if I worked very hard, that I could earn anywhere from $500 a month. He knew how ambitious I was, up to $20,000 a month, or anywhere in between. I don't know what your goal is. I don't know what your need is. But if you work this program, I'll show you tonight how you can make an extra $500 a month, a week. I'll show you if you want to do what I do and give about 5 or 6 meetings a week, you can be making this in a month. I don't know what your goal is, but whatever it is, I can show you how to do that tonight, okay? Now, I'm asked all the time, well, and welcome, Dr.
Look, he's there, son.
Welcome. Welcome.
Very good surprise. Right
Folks, I didn't tell you he was coming tonight, but Dr. Ross, who is my mentor, is sitting right in that chair, and I'm going to let him pick up in a minute. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. We didn't want to announce he was going to be here, so nobody knew he was coming except maybe Kenny.
We'd had to blow out the walls if we did that.
I promised, Kenny promised he wouldn't tell anybody. But back to Provision and back to why you're here. Folks, this company cares about people, and this card, all we do is give away this free card that saves people money on their prescription drugs. So if you don't get anything else tonight, Dr. Ross is going to show you some numbers, and he's going to show you the potential. But get the concept that we're giving away a free card that saves people money that costs me very little. And everybody is winning big with this program. You can go to any city in America, and I challenge you, you won't find a Provision rep. You know why? Remember what I just said? 7,000 people in the whole country that are giving it. We're going, I know Joe is somewhere in the crowd tonight. There's Joe. We're going to Birmingham. We're going to take this concept to Birmingham. Dr. Ross and I are going to be in Ashland, Kentucky, as I just mentioned, over the weekend. We're going to be in Chicago. So this card and this company, Provision RX, is sweeping America. It will be a household name. Now, if you have, it's your choice. But if you want to win big, now's the time to get in and join. Because those of us that have built downlines and are players in this company, when it hits critical mass, and Dr. Ross probably show his graph tonight. He'll explain more about that. Everybody's going to win big. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Ross. But before I do, I want to tell you a little bit about what Dr. Ross has built in 11 months. Dr. Ross is just turned 70 this past Sunday, and I've known Dr. Ross for 20 plus years. He helped start our fraternity on Western's campus. I called Dr. Ross on a Monday. I was in a meeting to try to help raise money for our fraternity on Sunday afternoon. And one of our fraternity brothers kept talking about Dr. Ross, and he was doing something with this card. And they kept talking about this card, and I thought, well, what's he doing with this card? And I said, well, we don't know. And I said, well, I'm going to give him a call. Monday morning, about 8 or 8:30, I called Dr. Ross, got him on the phone. Said, hey, this is Troy. Hey, Jay, this is Jay. What are you doing? And I said, well, tell me about this card thing, Jay. What's this card thing going on? And he said, well, I can't tell you. I'm getting ready to go and serve you. But I'm having a meeting tonight. Come and check it out. And I said, well, I'll be there. And he said, you'll be there when? I said, I'll be there tonight. So I got in my car, drove from Louisville, Kentucky, picked up my 72-year-old mother, who is doing this business wonderfully, and we brought another couple with us. So we came down, and Dr. Ross shown the program to me. And we said that night, after the meeting was over, it was about 9 o'clock, I said, we're going to join. So he said, when are you going to join? I said, we want to join right now. Let's sign up. I want to go. We're ready to do this. So I signed up my mom. We signed up the other couple. My first night in this business, I was a qualified manager. I would not let Dr. Ross leave. He had to go. He had to be in surgery at 7 o'clock next morning. He kept looking at his watch. Troy, I got to go. I said, no. I said, I want to learn this business. What do I do? He spent some time with me tonight. He gave me this. He gave me this chart. I still have the chart that he gave me. And he said, all you need to do is fill in those little holes. And those holes represented people. You know, he said, you need to get people to do what we're doing. And if you do that, you'll be successful. Folks, that was 7 months ago, and I haven't looked back. So Dr. Ross, in 11 months, has over 1,600 people in his downline. 1,600 people, okay? And you'll learn more about that tonight and what that's going to mean to him and Lynette and his family. So, but anyway, I'm going to bring up Dr. Ross right now. He picked me up in Owensboro, and we drove. He drove an hour, so we've driven 4 hours to be with y'all. And gosh, Dr. Ross, what a crowd! I mean, this is amazing. What a crowd! So I want y'all to give a warm welcome to Dr. J. Russell Ross.
I'd like to have your names, if you don't care, and your telephone numbers and your email addresses. I've set up a website for us. It's all paid for. It's free for y'all. It's called the drjwolfpack.com. And this is going to be a fantastic thing, a tool that you kids can use to help further your business. And if you get hooked up with this, you're going to learn so much through this, and you'll be able to use this. And so it's almost a done deal. I'll be talking with Mark Grant, the guy in New York that's done all this for us as we drive back home tonight. Just got a text from him. And so we're going to talk at 9:30 my time. Anyway, so Luann, if I could, anyone that wants to do that, and in fact, if somebody says, I don't want to join, it's okay with me. You don't have to do this. And the good thing for me at this point is this. I did start this in last September. Scott Mills came all the way from Alabama. I almost missed this. If I had have missed, I almost, this close, missed this. And had I done that, now knowing what it's going to do for us and for a bunch of us, I think I'd been sick at my stomach the rest of my life. I'm telling you. And how I almost missed this was this. This fool sent me a bunch, I ain't joking. He sent me a bunch of these little cards in a letter. And he said, Dear Doc, use these, let me know what you think. Oh my gosh. I thought, well, Scott's doing another something beefy. And so they didn't tell me how to use those. And so I turned around and threw them in the waste can. I don't know. I'm busy. I'm doing 80 hours of surgery a week. Whenever Kenny and Eddie tell me to come down here and talk about this business, I do that. I've got 3 other businesses. I'm a busy guy, okay? And so I threw those away. And thank the good Lord, Scott called me about another week or 10 days, 2 weeks. He said, what do you think about them cards? I didn't have the guts to tell him I threw them away. So I said, oh, Scott, I haven't got to use them. What, you hadn't used them? I started saying, fool, you didn't tell me how to use them. And I didn't say that. And I said, no, I haven't used them. He said, Doc, we can make a lot of money here. I said, doing what? He said, giving these away. Now, that didn't ring very true to me. Giving something away, make a lot of money? Didn't make it. I said, Scott, I don't know how. He said, can I come up here and talk to you? I said, I guess, but I work 6 days a week. I said, it'd have to be on a Sunday. He said, which Sunday? I said, can I come this Sunday? That was probably on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. I thought, let's get this out of the way. I said, let that fool drive on. I said, you coming all the way from Alabama? He said, yeah, I'll be there. Believe it or not, Joe, he came. And so that Sunday afternoon, we spent some time. Now, here's what else I said. I still almost missed it. I listened to him. He said you could give this card to almost anybody, and they could save money on prescription drugs. Well, honey, I got 29,000 families that think I'm their urologist in Owensboro. That's the largest urology practice in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And so I started operating this morning at 7 o'clock, and I was still operating almost when I got in the car to run down here. I got to be operating in Owensboro in the morning at 7 o'clock. That's a 4.5-hour drive. And I'll make it, okay? Now, Daddy taught me a great motto one time that I lived by. This is it. He said, he'd make me say this. He'd say, I will do today what others won't, and I'll do tomorrow what others don't. They can't. They didn't do what it did. Probably should have. And if they would have, they could have been doing what I'm doing. But they chose not to. So now they can't do what I do. But they probably should have. Now, so I do that. I do what others won't. And then I get to do what others don't. I'm looking now, because of this, to buy a new airplane. Okay? And on the tail of that sucker, Eddie, it's going to say Provision RX. I ain't paying taxes on that plane. That is a business. You understand that? If you don't like what we're going to do here tonight, it's okay. But get something out of this. Go get you a network marketing home base. Be a Mary Kay girl. You're pretty. Sell lipstick. That's fine. But get one. Guys, you cannot afford to live in this country without a network marketing home-based business. The taxes will kill you.
Right.
What do y'all think y'all's biggest expense is? You think it's your home?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's your car? You think it's your food? It's taxes, kids. It's taxes. And if you don't know that, honey, learn something tonight. One of the most fortunate things that ever happened to me in my life, what probably in network marketing, the most fortunate thing was that fool came to Kentucky and told me about this. And after I'd almost missed it, I asked him that day. I said, Scott, sounds like it's cool. I can give these cards to people, my patients, they save money on prescription drugs. He said, that's right. I said, that's a kind thing to do. I said, but I ain't going to give these out to anybody. My cards, I'll give yours out. Unless I can make a lot of money. I'm busy, guy. And I know something, and this is really important. We got time and we got money. Which do you think is more important? Time, because you can't get any more people. You can get more money. Because of this little thing and me handing out these dumb free cards and asking other people if they want to do it, I've created a huge six-figure income on the side. I'm working part-time on a fortune while I work full-time making a living. I get a wage over here, I get a profit over here. People, profits are better than wages. When I'm doing surgery, I'm getting a wage. When I'm doing this, I'm getting a profit. And if y'all don't understand profits are better than wages, you're in trouble already. If you don't understand the law of large numbers, you're missing a huge point. And I wish I was as young as Christy. I was 70. Woo! Last Sunday. I'll tell y'all something.
He was 76 last Sunday.
You're ahead of it. Network marketing. So that was the fortunate day. I said, Scott, unless I can make a lot of money, I ain't doing this. He said, what's a lot of money? I said, unless I can make $20,000 a month, I ain't doing it. I'll give your cards away. Keep me in cards. But I ain't going to network nothing. He said, I think you can. I said, show me. And he drew it on the paper. Now, guys, when I joined last September, Joe, we didn't get no dollar. Y'all got my cards, things backward. We didn't get $1 for every prescription that went across our cards. We got 25 cents. We didn't get 18 cents on every prescription that goes across y'all's cards. We got 9 cents. They didn't even have training. So we didn't have no training bonuses. We didn't have rank bonuses. We didn't have all this stuff. The most you could get over here, as people gave away 10 cards a month, was $1.80. And yet I thought I could make $20,000 a month in time by doing this program. And I went home and I talked to Lynette and Sarah. I got 2 families. Our first family, we had 3 children, and they're in their 40s now. In fact, my middle daughter lives in Taos out there, and she just had a second little baby. She's a month and a half old now. And so we were out there the other day. I'll tell you about that trip in a minute, make a point. But nevertheless, after 22 years, I was divorced from my first wife. And I figured if I couldn't make it with her, I wasn't going to make it all. So I didn't get married again for 9 years. And then I met this high school kid, and she was cute. And so, she was cute. And so I married her. And she knew we weren't going to have any kids because I already had kids about as old as she was. And anyway, but we had one. So when I was 55 years old, I had well, she had a baby, but I helped. Had a baby. And my little baby girl is about to be 15 years old. She's a beautiful little freshman in high school. Okay. Why did I tell you all that? I have no idea why I told you all that, but it was a good story. And it is true. So I take these kids out to Taos, New Mexico to see the new little baby a month and a half ago. All right, so you can't take a 15-year-old only child anywhere unless she takes everybody she knows. Do y'all ever know that? I understand. I mean, I got one daughter. I got about 7 kids spending the night with me every night, or she's gone, spending the night with somebody else. So when then I fly out there and I take 3 of them out there with us, and so I woke them up Sunday morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They were upset, and but I made them go. But then when they got in that hot air balloon and started soaring over that beautiful country out there, they got happy. And so we soared over that country in a hot air balloon for about an hour and a half, and they set us down. Cost me $1,500 to do that. Now, ordinarily, I'd have been upset over that door because I would have had to give the government next April $800 because I took them up and spent $50. Not this time. I got out of that balloon, I gave every sucker there a card. And I invited them to come and see about this. I'm working. Sonny, I'm working. I ain't paying taxes on that $1,500, children. I live in before tax dollars. That's how I can have the homes. That's how I can live the lifestyle I live. I live in before tax dollars. Do you have a network marketing home-based business?
Yes, I do.
You do already. Do you, Robert? Sonny, do you? Okay, good. Sonny, you've had it, honey.
Yep.
I mean, you just suck it. You know what?
If I had a good accountant.
All right, but I got you one. Right there, and if you don't...
He's talking about me.
Okay. Because here, let me tell you about this. Joe understands this. Joe Kraft understands this. And they understand that if you have a home-based business, people, you can have 150 whatever tax breaks we get. If he doesn't have a network business, he gets 17. I did not know that till I was 54 years old. My God, I bet I've changed CPAs, Joe, 7 times. Somebody help me. I'm paying more taxes. I think I funded the Iraq War. I mean, not really. But, I mean, I just paid taxes, that's what I do, until they rooked me into getting into a network marketing company. And they rooked me. I didn't want to do this. I thought this stuff was pyramid schemes. I thought it was for poor people. I thought it was for green, 3-headed people. I didn't know who I thought it was for. But I didn't want to sell soap to nobody. Keep your own soap. I don't care about Amway, but I love them. Had Amway not did what they did,
Right.
took this whole thing to the Supreme Court, people, we would not be here tonight.
Right.
I could not have the fortune I have. He could not be building the fortune he is had it not been for Amway. So I toast Amway every day. God bless them. I don't want to sell soap, but I'm glad somebody did. Because they proved to America and the world that network marketing, home-based businesses were as legitimate as any form of business. I was 54 years old. I had 3 degrees, one from Western Kentucky University, one from the University of Louisville, one from Emory University. Had enough degrees, good Lord. But I wasn't very smart. I was ignorant about the fact that if I needed this for tax breaks. I didn't know that. A lot of people are ignorant. You're ignorant till you know something.
Right.
Carol's ignorant. I can tell by looking. I'm a doctor. Let me tell you how I know that. Watch. She's not stupid. She's ignorant. What's my dog's middle name? Ignorant. I say Ellie. Okay, now what L-A-C, see that? Little education goes a long way. How about that? She got over ignorance just like that. Isn't that cool? So, but I was 54 years old. I was hotsy-totsy. I thought I was doing great, had a lot of money. And I thought this stuff was beneath me. I don't know what I thought. I was ignorant. I did not know that I was absolutely sending money to Washington. I did not have to send. If I was just bright enough to pay somebody $40 a month and have all these tax breaks. You kidding me? $40 a month, I saved $800 in one balloon ride. Okay. Now, I come down with gas. They pay me 56 cents a mile to drive everywhere I go. Yesterday I was in Orangeburg, Kentucky. Well, no, let's go back to Monday. Orangeburg, Kentucky. I saw patients all day long. Had a meeting in my office that night. Didn't have to drive far. Tuesday, patients all day long. Got in the car and drove to Bowling Green and back, 100 and some odd miles round trip, 56 cents a mile. Last day, saw patients all day yesterday. Got up and drove 2.5 miles north to Olden, Indiana. Amish outfit. Amish outfit. Boy, had good food. Anyway, and had a meeting. Everybody joined. I drove back home. I operated all day today. I'm down here today. I'm going home. I'll operate in the morning. Troy and me and Joe Kraft, this guy right here, is going to get in the car and we're going to go to Ashland, Kentucky tomorrow afternoon. We'll be giving this program to a stand-up crowd in Ashland at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, we'll spend the night, and then we'll start training those suckers. They'll come in from Ohio, they'll come in from West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Eastern Kentucky, the Carolinas. And we will train them all day long, Saturday, on how to do this, how to change their lives drastically. Then we'll hop in that car Saturday night, and we'll be back home because I got to be on call Sunday morning for all the urologists in Owensboro. Is that why? You understand that? So if this is serious for you, if you can find something in your heart to make this serious for you, and understand what we can do, Chrissy, there's no way you can create a 6-figure income in 12 months doing whatever you do unless you do this. What do?
Stay at home with my kids.
You're stay home with kids. Isn't that cool? But you know you can get stay-home mom with your kids and do this business. Is that cool? That's pretty neat. All right, so I'm going to tell you it's a wise thing to do. After they roped me into getting into Excel, which I did not want to do. I'd never heard of Excel. I was on AT&T. Leave me alone. This friend of mine, he's worth $13 million, came up as a Rolls Royce. He got in Excel, tell me one night about Excel. I listened to him for a while, and I knew this was a pyramid scheme. I could tell just the minute I heard it. And Lynette did too. She locked herself in the bathroom, or in the bedroom, and never did come back out. At midnight, Jim would not leave. I had to be in surgery. I said, Jim, you got to go, honey. I'm not going to do this. Don't need money. I don't have any time to get out of my house. He wouldn't leave. He would not leave. I figured it out. Ken, I wasn't crazy. If I joined, he'd leave. I said, let me get you a check. I gave him boy 8, 9, I don't know what I gave him, $700, $800. And he left. He switched my phones from AT&T, which I did not want him to do, over to Excel. Never heard of Excel. Didn't even know what I was getting into. We were mad at each other, Lynette and I, for 2 weeks. We fought over it. We promised we would not tell anybody. We got looked into one another. And paint our image in our community. Okay, what a dummy bunch of boys. Anyway, my phone bill fell by $800 that month at my office. Gosh, I made more money in 1 month. I got my money back. And I thought, well, wait a minute, am I missing something? Because he got to tell me about all these people making money by converting these phone services, blah, blah, blah. I looked into it. Long story short, I met Kenny Trout. I met Bill Castner. I met Steve Smith. I met all these guys that were doing this company. They were sharp people. They had something. And I finally awakened to the fact that network marketing, home-based business, is perhaps the wisest thing any of us can ever do. If you don't have one, you're going to send taxes you don't have to send to the the U.S. government. And so I'm going to tell you something. And Joe in cahoots with Ron Mueller, who's by the way going to be one of our speakers at the convention this year. Ron, in fact, he's speaking on our national call tonight. Ron Mueller is a great guy from California. They wrote this book. It's how much you keep the accounts, not how much you make. The only plainly step-by-step guide to home-based business tax breaks authorized by Congress. He knows these. And if your CPA does not know these, he won't help you do that because Congress said you could. He won't help you do this because Congress said you could. On and on and on. 157. Y'all got 17. I got more. So I don't pay the taxes, you do. Now I learned that. This is Robert Kiyosaki. Who knows the Rich Dad Poor Dad author? Okay, guess what? If you've never read this boy's 2 books, read them all, but he's got 2 books you need to read. The first one's called Rich Dad Poor Dad. The second one's called The Cash Flow Quadrant. You better read them. This is good reading. Who is his rich dad? By the way, Kawasaki makes hundreds of millions of dollars a year. This boy's rich. Now, who's his rich dad? It was his best friend's father in Hawaii who had no education. Who's his poor dad? It was his biological father who was head of education in all of Hawaii. He had PhDs running out the years. I told you a while ago, I got 3 degrees. Let me tell y'all something about degrees. They're not all what they make up to be. There's a thing we doctors and nurses use called a thermometer. It's got more degrees than I do, and look where we stick that thing sometimes. Don't get all impressed just because somebody got degrees, okay? Now, so he learned from his best friend's father how to make money, and they did. And so there you go. His mama wanted him to be a doctor. He didn't do that. What's in this book? Just about as soon as you get into it, Kawasaki says you better have a home-based business, network marketing home-based business, if you're going to be able to accumulate wealth. And so he's telling you the truth. So this thing comes along. Thank goodness I decided to try it. Lynette and Sarah and I decided I would give an effort to it. and they'll keep her passing in school. I still help her at times when I get home. And we're going to do it, I said, for a year. We'll do it for a year. That's next month. And this has changed our lives so drastically, so dramatically, and so much better. It's just wonderful. It's a great thing to go out and share with people if you care about them. I haven't told one of my enemies about this yet. I'm not going to. They can find out on their own. I told a lot of my friends about this, okay? And I called Kenny about it as soon as I got in this. And I told Kenny about this. It hasn't happened much for Kenny yet. He told Lou and Joe. And while I was running ahead, they were busy, thank goodness, running our company here and keeping this thing going. But they couldn't see the time that they had time to do this yet. But about a couple of months ago, we revisited this thing again, and all of a sudden it looked like it might work. And I think the fact that I've run ahead, and in 2 weeks, I should become the second presidential director in this company. Now guys, the first one told us a month ago in Nashville that he and his two partners, they've done that position in about 13 months, are making $80 an hour every hour of their lives. Whether they're sleeping, eating, walking, doesn't matter. That's $700,000 a year. So they've done that in 13 months. 3 of them did that full time. I will have done mine in about 12 months, part-time on the side. Okay? That just tells me that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. If you're 18 years old, if you want to. And if you don't want to, I doubt you do it. That's okay. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you'll be right. Okay? And that's true. So if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you'll be right. And that's pretty much all in life. You know, I learned a long time ago, what the mind can conceive and believe, that's the trick. What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, if it has a method whereby it can do it, and if it will work hard enough at it. Well, last September, in my mind, after I talked to Lynette, I decided I could make $20,000 a month with this company on the side and not stop my day job. Now, when that gets doubled, and it's going to do that rapidly, I may slow down on my day job. I'm getting tired of taking out prospects. Because there's no residual income much in that. There is in this. I give him a card. He uses this card to save on money. I get paid $1 every time he saves on a prescription card, over and over. I give it to him once. I get paid forever. That's residual income. Why do you think these musicians are joining with us? Ronnie McDowell's already joined. At his concerts, he gives away a card. They pay him $50 to hear him sing once, but he gets $1 every time they get a prescription, forever. We've put in Reba McEntire's fiddle player. We've got T.G. Shepherd coming in this thing. Who is Faith Hill's husband?
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. And he was going to be in with us in Nashville next Thursday. So there's a whole bunch of people looking at this. Why not? Why not take advantage of this? So what I'm going to do, Tom, I've decided I'm going to change my prostate surgery a little different. I got smart with all this. Instead of charging these men $700 once when I take their prostate out, I'm not going to do that. They're going to say, what are you going to do? Go on home, don't pay me. But every time you pee the rest of your life, send me a quarter. Long-term residual income. We need to get that. Ken is, this is kind of funny. When I was up in eastern Kentucky about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I guess, and that up there is just exploding now. We had a meeting, and this little girl came in, Brenda, and she's from West Virginia. So after the meeting, she came up to me, and she said, Dr. Ross, I'm so excited. She said, I'm from West Virginia. I said, well, Brenda, it's good to meet you. She said, okay, I'm ready to go. Now, who all you got in West Virginia? I said, you. That's all we had at that time. She said, what? I said, you're it, honey. Now go for it. You got the whole state. Have fun. And she's having fun. And Ken's now up there with us in West Virginia. He shared this letter with me the other day when I was up there last week. Hi, Ken. I hope everything is going well for you. This is from Patrick Brent Rourke. I just wanted to share with you the savings that I'm able to achieve using the Provision RX card. I've been taking Protonics at 40 milligrams a day for 3 years, and my insurance company will not cover the cost of the medication because it's not on their list of preferred drugs. So my cost has been $264 a month from a local pharmacy. With the Provision RX card, I've been able to purchase the medicine for $22 a month. $264 to $22. This savings is enough to more than pay for my new boat payment. Thanks for So he got him a new boat. I love it. Guys, y'all realize that 59 million Americans have no insurance. They all need a card. Christy, you think you could hand out a few cards? We got to hand out 10 a month. 10 a month. I'll tell you something. When we stop to get gas, just ready to go home, I'll walk in that 7-Eleven store, and I'll give, if Dawn's working out of the county, I'll give her a card. Okay? Then the next thing you know, Dory's over. He said, what are you giving her? Oh, this is a card. Oh, really? Then Carol said, what is that? I look like E.F. Hutton. I'm handing cards out everywhere. Then he'll say, well, if it's good for me, could my mom use this? Yeah, Mom. Oh, she's sick as a dog. Really? Well, give her a card. Well, she got a sister, ain't no better off. Well, give her a card. I'm giving out a card. I got to give 10 cards away a month. I will give out hundreds a day. So 10 cards a month is a walk in the park. Especially when you know 43 million people on food stamps, they all need one too. Now we're over 100 million people. Do y'all have any Hispanics? Y'all don't have any Hispanics working around here, do you?
Yeah, right.
Usually they're moving out.
They're moving out. They're coming to Kentucky, I guess, because that's all we got. No, and you know, they say, now we know there's 59 million people out of insurance. We know there's 43 million on food stamps. We know that. That's government records. How many Mexicans do we have in America? 10? Who knows? I mean, you know, they call them names and all that. But they are here, and they're working, and they're spending money, and they're going to send money back home. Guess what they get? They don't have any insurance. They get sick. Their children get sick. And they'll come to a doctor. They may stiff me. They may not pay me, but they'll have to buy their medicines. They can't get well. Every one of them suckers needs a card. Okay, let's think about this. Who here is on Medicare besides me? Am I the oldest guy in this group? A couple of us. Okay, when we get into that donut hole, you realize you're paying, what, $2,000, $3,000 out of your pocket before you get out of that. Good, this card works. Get your discount.
No, I got back here too.
Okay. Now, and this card also beats you. Do you have insurance? Co-pays on prescriptions? My card beats you 67% of the time. So, like if you are an Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, you take insurance in, a Z-Pack's going to cost you $30, $40. Not with my card. It costs Judge Cooper $6. Okay, so our card does that. Now,
I'm saying it's about Medicare Part Perfect. Give it to them.
That's exactly right. He's telling you the truth. But the point is, you can give this sucker to almost everybody. Everybody. You don't have to know them. Give them a card. Tell them how to use it. Now, who should do this? Well, I don't know all of you personally, but I'm just looking at you, and we're just all good folks that look like. Would it hurt any of y'all to make an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month in a part-time job?
Nope.
And have all the tax breaks that I have? And be able to call a board-certified physician 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He's free. That's in your $39.95 a month. To be able to call an attorney every minute of every day. He works for you. To be able to call a financial advisor every minute of every day. He works for you. To get identity theft, that's $20 a month by itself. You get all this, kids. So that's what you get when you join this company. Hey, we're getting that for $40 a month. I get a check every Monday with a comma in it. Let me say it one more time, Robert. You look like a math major today. You understand that checks with commas are better than checks without commas. You do know that. Okay. Now, my first check was $47. But Christy, when I got that, I said, whoa, they're going to pay me. They said they would, they did. The next check was $53. And then last week it was $2,300 or something. And then it was 30-something hundred the other day. In a minute, this check will go into the multiple thousands a week. Is this crazy? And you'll see why in a moment. Because this company pays you 11 streams of income for doing what? Two things. Give away them dumb cards, and see if anybody wants to give away them cards. So I say, Ricky, can you give some cards away? And he says, yeah, good. I'll show you how to save taxes out the wazoo, get all this, make a new income, make a lot of new friends. So that's all we're doing, people. Now, let me tell you what I needed to change last year. I needed a better plane. I needed to be able to slow down on medicine. But I did not want to leave my socioeconomic financial status. So I'm going to have to make some new money somewhere. I've just done it. I've just done it. And it's going to do nothing, Ken, but get huge. Let me tell you this before I get into that. This not only will be bigger than you think it will be, Christy. This will be bigger than you can think. You don't have any friends making $20,000, $30,000 a month on the side, do you? Who does? Who do you go to church with making that kind of money? Nobody. And you say, well, it's pie in the sky. No, it's not. We've already shown it's not. It was for me last September, kind of. It wasn't really pie in the sky. I knew that if this company could stay okay, if this company was put together by good people, which it is, if we would do what they ask us to do, it looked like to me, we'd be all right. Well, we've now shown that to be the case, as have others. There's over 7,000 people in this. Is that bad or good? That's wonderful, and I'll show you why in a moment. Gosh, this thing's going to take off, kids, till you get to 30,000. And they don't really take off till you get to 50 to 100, and then it goes crazy. And if y'all happen to be with us, and if you've developed a bit of a downline, when that takes off, I'll show you at the end, honey, that's uncommon wealth. That is uncommon wealth. Sam, I'll pick on you. How old are you?
76.
And I'm 70. Now, if you and I had not already by now established a pretty big estate, that means we ain't going to establish one for our families, because we're too old. We're not going to do it. And if there's anybody else in here in that same category, if you say, well, I haven't got a big estate to leave nobody, you're not going to be able to leave it doing the jobs that we can get. The only way you can do that is network marketing, and I know that for a fact. Network marketing, home-based businesses will create more millionaires in the next 5 years than any form of business. It ain't doctors and bankers. It's not teachers and policemen. Okay, it's not lawyers. Guys, it's network marketing, home-based businesses. And if you don't know that, it's okay. But you can't say you don't know it after tonight, because I've told you. And if you don't do something different, if you don't get in the 3% of Americans that control 97% of the money, if you ain't making over $200,000 a year, you're not in that. You're in the 97% fighting over the 3% of the money that's left. That's not much left. Okay, that means 87% of the American workforce is going to retire at poverty level. If you'll get it, it's not too good. 9 out of 10, I'm glad to see all the girls here tonight, because girls do this better than guys. Isn't that cool? We got a lady named Betty Swisher. Betty Swisher. It's true. They showed her this in October of last year, and she said, "Now I'm afraid to do this, and all I got is Social Security." And they said, "Oh, Betty, ain't gonna matter. Come on, try it and see how it works out." Well, I'll try it. So Betty tried it. Betty Swisher is about to become a vice president. Here, she's a national marketing director. She's got a 6-figure income. Betty Swisher could give a rat's you know what about her Social Security. Betty Swisher's 81 years old. I love it. She's done that in less than a year. 81 years old. Hello. Let's say that after we get through talking about what we're doing here, Ricky says, sign me up. Good. That's a good idea. So, Ricky, then you're going to be right there with us. I mean, you're one of us. Hallelujah. Okay? What have you got? Everything I said. You got tax breaks that you have no right to unless you have a network like this. Now you have them the rest of your life. How old are you?
44.
And you just learned this 10 years earlier than I did. I wish somebody had taken me when I was 18 years old and tied me to a stump beaver down and beat me bloody to get me to do this. But see, when I was 18, they didn't have these. I was going back there. They didn't have network marketing when I was 18. That happened a few years later. I wish I'd have learned it much sooner. That's all I'm saying. So you young kids, gosh, don't miss this. You got the tax break. Now you're in this company. You can call doctors, attorneys, you got all that stuff. Yep, you had to pay $199.95 one time to get in, and you got to get some cards. Cost you about $90. This is all the tax write-off. You got to get trained, and you do need to get your training. That costs $180 one time. You get this 4-hour DVD that shows you what you're doing. And guess what else that allows you then to use my Wolfpack website forever, free, and that's going to have so much stuff on it that's going to make it so valuable. You're going to learn stuff here, but you're going to learn lots of stuff ongoing through the Wolfpack website. Now, we got to pay $39.95 a month starting the second month. It's in that $199 the first month. If you add all that up, 11 of these and these, that's about $900 a year. That's your first expense. It's over the course of a year. I'm going to show you how to make $1,000 in 30 days, and we're having people do this everywhere. So why not take 30 days and have all your money back? Now, the rest of whatever you do is a profit. Isn't that cool? That's pretty good. All right, so he's going to do this. Now he's ready to go. Get him some cards, start giving them out, because he's trained, he's qualified to earn the dollar on every card, every prescription that goes across your cards. Okay? That guy there is saving $200 enough to pay for a boat, and every time he saves that much a month, Ken gets $1. Now, he's saving $200 Ken gets $1. Okay? Law of large numbers. Watch what happens in a minute. Well, let me just show you right now so y'all can dream a little bit. Okay, here I was last September, and I sponsored my wife. Why not? Let her get her own money. I'm tired of giving her money. She now gets her checks. That's cool. And my little girl, a little 14-year-old girl, little pretty cheerleader and all this kind of stuff, she's learned this is mailbox money. This is mailbox money. It's good because it comes whether you're working much or not. I don't want another divorce. I've had one, I want another one. But if it should come, Carol, they can have everything out there except the mailbox. I'm keeping the mailbox. Okay, then I put in Wayne. He's about to be a vice president. And then I put in Susan. She's about to be a vice president. Then I put in Hal J. His wife made him quit. Oh my gosh, did she miss this one? And then I put in John. He quit and he's already gone bankrupt. What I'm trying to tell you is that everybody you put in this thing will not necessarily be bright enough to stick and do it. Right, Scott?
Right.
But then watch this. I put in Wayne. I got to show you all this because this will blow your minds. I put in Wayne. Wayne put in Val. Val saw some strange woman in Owensboro and got all excited to tell her about what we were doing. She was from Bowling Green. And this woman probably was trying to get away from Val. And Val said, oh, y'all ought to go hear this message, a meeting in Bowling Green. Well, this woman went over and told her husband, Sam, that he ought to go to the meeting. This woman told him to blah, blah, blah. So Sam comes to the meeting. He wants to sell me clothes. Sam runs all over the country selling clothes. And so that's what he came to the meeting for. Well, after the meeting, Sam came up and said, Dr. Ross, I want to do this. Do what? I want to join. Oh, great. And I said, who sent you? He said, we don't know. I said, no, you got to know. I said, no, I said, my wife saw some woman in Owensboro. And I said, well, Owensboro, I probably know her. And, well, I don't know who she is. You signed me up. Sam said, you sponsor me. I said, no, that's not the way we do it, Sam. Now, I need to know who's, well, I don't know her name, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, this girl signed, she said, Dr. Ross, I want to join too. I said, great, who sent you? He said, Val Russell. He said, that's the name, that's the name. I said, Val Russell told you? Yeah, that's it. So Val told Sam, he joined. Sam told Gary, he joined. Gary told Rick, he joined. Rick told Sharon, she joined. Sharon told Dale, he joined. Dale told Mark, he joined. Mark told Rob. I'm going to stop there. Y'all watch this. It's not who you sponsor that will change your lives. Yep. Ricky, you're getting $1 for every prescription that goes across your cards. But you get 18 cents, honey, for every prescription that goes across somebody else's cards in your downline, right? This is my downline. This is part of it. Rob happens to know a Mexican, a billionaire Mexican, who owns a company called MarketTel. And what MarketTel does in America, it sells 20 million prepaid phone cards a week. A week. 20 million. Now, so Rob tells this Mexican, why don't you get a position with this company? They'll pay you something on all these. Just put a number on these cards. You already got them out there, and make some money with prescriptions. He's going to do that. They've signed the contract. So I don't know what they paid the Mexican. I think it's more than $1. Who cares? Everybody up that line gets 18 cents for everything that happens on these cards.
Wow.
Now, guys, what that's going to mean to me and several others is $4,000 a day. I told you couldn't think about how this could get, how big it could get. Is that crazy? But do y'all think I would have ever known that Mexican? Do you think I'd have ever known Rob? I knew Wayne and barely knew Val. So I'm going to tell you something. This is powerful, and you can't do this in any form of business but this. Kawasaki said this. He said, this is his second book. He said that if you live in the red over here, if you're an E or an S, you will never become financially independent. Never. What is that? That's an employee. What's this? This is me. This is a small business person. This is a self-employed business person. This is me. That guy has a job. I own a job. What does JOB stand for? Just over broke. Because 90% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now that's what that stands for. And guess what we all pay over here? Big taxes. I told you what your biggest expense is, taxes. You got to get on this side of the equation where the green guys live. Where's my green? You didn't get me a green one. Gotta have a green one. Green is my favorite color. Look at this. Look how pretty it goes with orange. That looks good, doesn't it? Look at her hair. It's green. That's right, honey. And that's why there's a green line right there on between this and this. Because when you hop that green line, and Kenny's about to hop this, after dragging his feet for months. See, but that doesn't matter. This company does not care about your past. I love that. I know Ricky better than y'all think I do. Y'all didn't know Ricky was in jail for most of his life before just the last couple of years. He's been in jail. But we don't care about that, right? Now, we're hoping you know some other guys who are in jail with, bring them to this business. So you just don't have to tell 4 people and this is on. See, it doesn't care if you've been bankrupt. Right? I hope you haven't been in jail. But anyway. So you hop this line. So you hop this green line, and I'm telling you, this is 6-figure incomes, kids. And you get up here, we're talking about 7. They plan to make 1,000 multimillionaires in the next 3 to 5 years. And you hop that green line, you are one. Is that cool? Took me less than 5 weeks to hop that green line. It's taken him a year. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Whenever you hop it, you hop it. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Sarah may take longer than that. It doesn't matter. She may take shorter. He took shorter. Okay, now, you got to get over here. What's this? This is B. This is a big business. You got to have 500 plus employees working for you, making money for you, paying you when you sleep. And then what can you do? You can take that money and make the investments that allow you to become financially independent. Now that's what you got to be. And if you can't get on this side of the equation, you're doomed. That's the 87% in our population that retires at poverty level. And I do believe this may be the only way you can pull that out at this time. I mean, for a bunch of us older guys, this is the only way you can do it. You can't do it through a job. There's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough hours in the day. Okay, you got to use large numbers. You got to use law of large numbers. So here I am, me, Lynette, Wayne, Susan, Hal quit, John quit, but in my downline it's now grown to 1,620. My downline. Because I'm a vice president, they pay me $2.20 every month for everybody in my downline who gives away their 10 cards. They don't have to use them. They got to give them away. So Don, you got to tell that. What's 220 times this? I don't know, but it's pretty good. What is it? $3,500. Okay, $3,500, and does that equate to about 40,000? All right, now, who else got a job here right now? They're going to go to tomorrow. Walk in there. You walk in there tomorrow, Brendan. You say, "What's your boss's name?"
Steve.
Steve. Walk in there and say, "Steve, hey, Brenda here." Say, "Well, hey, Brenda, I am the best thing you got. You know it." "Yeah, I know it." "Good. I need a $40,000 a year raise." What's he going to say? I got it. Okay. And that's exactly what he's going to say. And guess what? I can't give my nurses. I wish I could. I have 8 people that work for me. I'd love to give all of them $40,000. I can't do that. I'd go broke. I'd be bankrupt. It's not in the cards to happen. You'll have to do it for yourself. But isn't that nice that you can do it for yourself? Okay. Now then, I'm dripping. Doesn't matter. But the point is, Ricky, the point is, can you see where by you giving away the cards, those free cards, and by sharing this with a few people, do you see what can happen? And that's what happens, people. So I can tell y'all that this is a wise thing to do. Now, will you do it? No, that's not up to me. God put you down here to make it be on ground. He put me down here to share this with you. I play show and tell, and I give away cards. I give away cards, Suzanne, every day of my life, and I'm going to do that. I don't know how big this is going to get. I think we're going to make enough money we won't have to count it, honey. We'll bail it. That's what I'm thinking. So I come and say, "Doc Ross, can you give us some money for the Little League?" "Yeah, take that." "What is that?" "It's a bail. Take it. Bail." "How much is it?" "I don't know. That's a lot." That'd be cool. Take that bail. That's what we're going to be able to do. Now, and this would really be ugly for us, me and Troy, to drive all the way down here and show y'all this if we're the only two that could do it. That would, y'all would tar and feather us and run us out of town. We came down here because every human being in this room can do this. Now, I know that to be a fact. Will you? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know how comfortable you are. I don't know whether you love your comfort zone you're in so much that you don't want to do any of this. I don't know. This old boy from Beer Dam grew up poor, honey. I want to see how big this gets, okay? I want to get a bigger plane. I told y'all that a while ago. I mean, I can't fly one. I got to have a pilot. That's better. I fly and drink. I ain't going to be flying in one. I'm figuring I want to land. After y'all see this tonight, there's not one person in this tonight. There's not one person in this room that has the right to ever say, I can't make enough money to be happy and have financial independence. Not one person in this room. You may not want to do it. You may not do it. That's okay. But you will not be able to say, I don't know how to do it. Okay, because we're going to show you. This is what happens in network marketing companies that are good. This happened in Excel. And by the way, this is money. Always use green. This is money on that one. And this is time here. And I really stick with this. That's the most important. You can't get any more. Tonight is not a dress rehearsal. Y'all look pretty. You didn't have to dress up. This was not a dress rehearsal. This is it. You'll never get to do this again. Okay? Neither will we. So life is life, but you don't get to play it again. Time. More important than money. What happens in these companies, they start, and they start in the red most of the time. This one didn't. This one is debt-free. You don't find one like this very often. This one is debt-free. They own that $1 million computer in Dallas that makes all this work. IAB is the big benefits company that gives us all this stuff. Jim Wood's outfit, he's richer than you can imagine. He has a debt-free 30-year-old company. This is backed by a bunch of big-time stuff. So we're debt-free, but it takes a while to start, to really generate the incomes. So it bops around like this for a while, then it moves up a little bit. Next thing you know, it looks like it's going to make it. And it kind of gets a little better. Woo, like that. And then one day it goes, whoa. And that is a ride of a lifetime if you're there. Now, Paul Orbison, who was the coach from Boyle County High School in Kentucky, and he was a Western grad like we were. And they went to him when Excel had about 32,000 reps, and they told Paul Orbison, they said, Paul, you ought to do this. He said, well, can I make enough money to buy a new truck? They said, yeah, I think you can. He said, can I make enough money to not have to paint houses in the summertime as a teacher so I can make a living for my family? They said, yeah, we think you can. He said, I'll try it. So he started. And he started right here when they already had 32,000 in there or thereabouts. And when Paul joined Excel, now remember we had to change phones from wherever you had it over to Excel. And so Paul would have to come up to Carol and he'd say, Carolyn, you're my friend. This ain't going to cost you nothing, honey. And I need you to be one of my 12 customers for Excel. She never heard of Excel. No. And he'd say, all you got to do is just let me change your phones from AT&T, which you've trusted all your life, and they've screwed you all your life anyway, and change over here, and then you get it. The phone's going to sound the same. Would you do that for me? And then Carol says, well, yeah, Paul, I might try to do that for you. Is it any different? Well, it sounds the same. I know, but do I have to do anything different to call him back? Not too much, a little bit. Okay, well, you say, well, I'm going to call Jay Ross down in Owensboro. His number is 270-993-0550. What do I have to do? Well, here's what you got to do, Carol. Pick a phone up and dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 270-993-0550. I got to dial 17 numbers before I dial the number? Yeah, you got to do that for me to get benefits. You would do that?
No.
And who would? But did you know Paul Orbison had to beg and ask people? He had to get people to do that. Dial 17 numbers, then the phone number. Well, that's because, see, the product wasn't very hot back then. And that got better. When I finally joined Excel, I was probably right about here. Jay Ross did. No, when I got my customers, you just dial the number and off you go. But I ended up making about $28,000 a month. Paul Orbison made $88 million. Paul made $1 million a month, 44 consecutive months. He was gutsy enough to ask people to dial 17 numbers before they dialed the real number. Okay? He wrote it out during the tough times. And he was tough enough to stay the course. And he became ultra wealthy. Okay, now that's cool. Where are we in this company right now? We got 7,000 people. We're right there. We're right there. You see where we are? Our product is getting better already. Our product is getting better. We're saving people more money on the prescription drugs. We're saving them almost $5 million across America. I've got one diabetic lady, she saves over $500 on one drug a month because of my card. That's good. Okay, we're saving money for people. We're here. We got to go through some tough times. But guys, here sits Jay Ross with 1,600 plus in his downline. When he gets here, you're looking at 50,000 in his downline. This is when uncommon wealth occurs for those people that are here. Now you can't win if you don't begin, I'll tell you that. And Kenny wishes today that he had been busier over the last year developing his downline. He's all right, because he's still all right. We haven't got out here yet. And if Kenny and Luann and Joe and Eddie and Big Ken, if they will just keep working, their downline will develop. It's the law of large numbers. Everybody in this room could be fine if you position yourself where we are. And if you're as crazy as we are, to hand them cards out and ask people if they want to hand out cards. That's my story. I'm sticking to you. I'm going to vote for you because I've loved your politics ever since you were Speaker of the House. So I could have these tax breaks. Now it's just 40. I like it better. When you sponsor 2 people, when Ricky sponsored his first 2 people, and when he has 12 people spill under him, and I've just got that. My wife has had it from the get-go. When you have 12 people spill under you because of other people's activities, you don't know those people. They pay you $40 a month because of that. So you're a nickel a head forever. Isn't that cool? They don't want your money. They want you to give cards away. And they want you to get other people to give cards away. That's what they want. So this is what we need to be doing. So, is that what you want me to tell? Mm-hmm. Y'all see, this is good, guys. I don't care your age. I don't care your education. I don't care your financial background. I don't care nothing. If you can, I think that anybody.
Yes, in the back?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have a question. I'd like to know how the company makes
I'll tell you
money
that.
on this.
Let me tell you about
If
that.
I do it, I need to know how to explain it because
Let me
my
tell you
wife's got this huge bill.
Let me tell you this.
You know, and I got.
I'm going to tell you. Paramount is who we're associated with right now, and that's the big rich company that can buy drugs. Okay, now listen to me. Paramount. So they walk into all the drug houses. Let's go into Pfizer. They walk into Pfizer, they announce, Paramount's here, everybody in the plant sits down because they got all the money. And they're there to buy drugs. Okay, so they say, what are y'all going to buy today? Lipitor. Woo, how many you want? Billion pills. Billion pills. Oh my gosh. Are you going to give us $3 a pill? Nope. 50 cents a pill. Take it or leave it. We'll take it. Volume. So they buy these drugs right. Now, Paramount's got all these drugs. So they turn around and they say, we better contract with a bunch of drugstores and get these drugs sold. So they go out and about 54,000 drugstores, all the major chains, most mom and pop shops, they contract with these suckers so they can sell them drugs at decreased rates. So they come into Walmart and they say, we got Lipitor for you all this time. Good, what do we buy it for? Not $2, is it? No, how about $1? Yes, we'll buy it. $1. Then watch this. But here's the trick, Walmart. Dory comes in with one of these cards, he gets that for 65 cents. Ricky comes in without a card, sell it to him for $4 a bill if you want to, we don't care. So you can do whatever you want, not with him and this card. Is that a deal? Deal. So they put it into force. So and then the next thing you know, and by the way, where does the money come from? What do y'all think the money is? Pharmaceuticals. It's not insurance. It's pharmaceuticals. They've got more money than you can imagine. And that's why they deal like this. Okay, so now Paramount's out here, they want to get these cards out. So they don't know how to do it. So they said, well, let's do what Kenny Trout did. He built the fastest growth company in the history of America, Excel, through network marketing. So they said, let's do that. Well, they didn't know how to do it. So they called Jim Wood down there in Texas, and they said, Mr. Wood, can you hook us up some kind of a network thing so we can give these cards out? He said, sure. So he calls Ernie Land, Lowell Mims. Says, guys, y'all have done this before very successfully. Can you do it again? So they put this together. And all of a sudden, last March, Provision RX was born. And that's when this started. And our job is to get these cards out so those big guys at the top can buy their drugs, sell them like they want them, and off we go. This is a platform. This is simply a platform. This has already changed since I've been in this. It will continue to change. It will get better and better and better, as did Excel get better and better and better. As we mature and as we grow, this is a platform. There happens to be a thing that we're going to allow all the people that have these cards to buy shortly. It's wonderful, and everybody in this room has to have this thing. And we're going to get paid because they buy that over this card because it's going to be discounted to them. That's good. That's just the next foot to fall. They will continue to fall as we grow and mature. But that's where the money comes from. This company gives back to the field force 65% of everything garnered through everything. They give it back to us. So we'll be happy to give out the cards and gather other people to give out the cards. They keep 35% and they run this company on that. They guarantee they'll never sell this company. That's one of the best things he told me Sunday, that this company has given us in writing they will not sell us. See, when I was making $28,000 a month with Excel, Kenny and them sold it to the Canadians for $3 billion. I don't blame them, but off that, I was high and dry. This company doesn't plan to do that.
Dr. J, does the...
Before he said, oh, sure. Want to use your insurance? I said, no, don't put that on our insurance. I don't know. I said, try this discount card you got. He said, sure, let me have it. So he starts to walk off. He said, you want 30 days or 90 days? I'm thinking, no, $120. I said, oh, how much is it going to be on that card? So he comes back and he says, Doc, you probably want to go and get 90 days. I said, how much is it? He said, $9. I said, for what? He said, for 90. $9 for 90? Yeah, I need 3 months. So I just saved for my dog, okay? I just saved $100 and some odd dollars by using this card. So Ellie's using this card too. That's good. Guys, this is a wonderful thing. Y'all been great. We're going to get out of here. Troy, do you need to say anything?
Yeah.
Thank y'all for listening. Thanks for being my guinea pig.